Just wanted my hair out of my face, and I thought that looked nice. And just like that, fall is over. It's gonna be in the low 60s today. Right now, it might not even be 50. Like, it was like the mid 80s on Saturday. And then yesterday, it went, so I think it's been 80s, and then it turned 60 yesterday. And we're done. Like, where was the high 60s, low 70s days? They just didn't happen. So we went from like heat of the summer to beginning of winter. I feel like it's been doing that the last few years. Time to walk to work. It's almost 5:30 again. It's fine. I'm just gonna like take a half day next week to account for my extra hours. Time to go home. Video game playing time it is. It is basically my Friday today because I took tomorrow off because we are going to Cedar Point. So it's an early morning tomorrow, just like normal. It'll be a very long day because Cedar Point is 2.5 hours away. They open at 11, they close at midnight. So I'll be home probably around 3 in the morning, I think. Whew. And then I have a soccer game, which I'm potentially gonna skip. We'll see. The phone is precariously propped. As shown by that. I'm feeling rather sleepy. I think I ended up only playing my Xbox for about an hour before I decided to be done. You can definitely tell, well, I mean, okay, it's cold now. Like I said this morning, we skipped fall weather again for like the 4th year in a row. And I'm really noticing the sun going down earlier because it's dark outside and it's not even 8 o'clock yet. So that's always like, for me, one of the saddest things about winter is that you lose so much daylight. I would struggle so much living in those Nordic countries where you have those days where the sun is only up for like a few hours or not at all. Ooh. It's also colder in the apartment. Oh my gosh. I need like a better stand. I need a stand or something. It is colder in the apartment, so I'm wrapped up in my blanket. How long do you keep blankets? I've had this blanket since I was in middle school. Or maybe this is high school. Maybe freshman year. Middle school? I can't remember. I painted my room lime green and my mom bought me this blanket. And so I can't remember. I think my room was painted when I was in middle school or freshman year. I can't remember. But regardless, this is a very old blanket. This is like a 20-year-old blanket. And it's just a regular fleece. And it's, you know how fleece like pills? It's so pilly. Like everything is, it's all pilled together. But it's still a blanket. Like it still does its function. So why would I get rid of it? If not to just get a nicer looking blanket? That seems wasteful. Anyway, I am going to knit a bit on my sweater. This is I moved it to my Birch Grove bag because this fits better in my book bag when I go to work. Not that I've gotten to knit on it at all. Work has been more than I want it to be. I guess we'll leave it at that. And I have not gotten to knit almost at all this week, right? Like barely at all. So I am nowhere further than I was. Here's the sleeve that I'm on. And that's that. So I'm going to work on the sleeve, potentially watch some Over the Garden Wall, or maybe something on YouTube. I also have Avatar Last Airbender Season 3 on DVD. I need to check and see if I have to return that, because if I need to return that, then that's what I'll watch. If no one has it on hold, then I'll keep it a bit longer. But to be honest, I'm not really feeling like Avatar Last Airbender. I don't know what I'm feeling like. I just don't know. Do I want to watch knitting videos? I'm in that kind of mood where I'm tired, but I don't want to go to sleep because I still feel like I haven't done anything with my day. Oh my gosh, last night, like the phrase of your mind is racing. That's what I was feeling last night. It was almost like, I don't want to say a panic attack, because it wasn't. It wasn't. But it was similar in that my inner monologue was interrupting itself, and I was like trying to tell myself, like, you don't need to be thinking about these things. But then I would keep going and keep going and keep going, and it was all work related. It was just, you need to do this, you need to do this, you forgot to do this, you need to make a memo that you need to do this, you need to do these things. This thing you said is this, but it's actually this. You need to write this down. There's just so much happening in my mind. And there's only so much time in the day to do all the things. And that is just such a struggle. It's honestly, I think that needs to be discussed more in college, I think, or even in high school. Like, how do you cope with jobs? Because I feel like most of our jobs are like this. It's like in corporate. How do you cope, which also just means prioritize, with a job where you're never done? Like, even when you ship something, You very rarely ship everything. There's now a backlog after you've shipped something. And especially in positions where what you're shipping is small and it's just over and over and over, and you're always having to prioritize, but then everything that you need to do may not align to a project or something, right? Like you're like I'm trying to like talk about this without being so specific, because I think it's very relatable to everyone. I mean, everyone's got competing priorities, even if you don't just look at work, right? If you want to make it fun, you have competing priorities with, knitting, reading, working out, making dinner, cleaning, going out, touching grass, making your bed. All these things take time, and you just don't have the time to do all those things. So you have to prioritize it. But then some things have to be done. And then and that's all internal, right? Like then you add your external forces of just other people and what they need to have done that involves you, and then trying to prioritize all of that. Like I don't think I ever had a class in middle school, high school, or college that explicitly talked about how you prioritize things. It's all just like you figure it out, and you're either good at it or you're not good at it. Like why isn't that something, those are soft skills that are transferable in every single industry you're ever going to be in. I mean, you can even think of it from like, let's even say like if you're waitressing and you have 3 tables, you still have to prioritize which table you're going to go to first, right? If table 3 is drinking super quickly and table 1 needs coloring pages, like, can you do those at the same time? Do you need to go to table 3 to get their order first? Do you still have to make these decisions with prioritizing. It's easier and harder, right? It's easier because you're typically not prioritizing 30 different things that all have to be done and all take much longer than going to get drink orders or going to pick up crayons, right? But at the same time, you are face to face with the public. So anyway, I'm just rambling, but it's just thoughts. So I don't want to go to sleep because I'm concerned that my mind's just going to be racing. I won't get enough sleep. And we're going to go, and we're going to Cedar Point, and I'm going to have to, I'm waking up, I think at like 6:30 to be able to go to our meeting point. And I might as well get some knitting done if I'm not going to get much sleep, So I don't know. I'm just rambling. So we're going to do some knitting tomorrow. For Cedar Point, I like to bring knitting with me because there's going to be lines. We wait in the lines. We kind of play it by ear on if we're going to get the fast pass. So, if we don't get fast pass, then we just wait in much longer lines. And I normally have knitting with me when I go. And I typically have something small that fits in a purse. And I don't really have any socks that I can bring that I can like knit on. I'd have to start something, which I guess is okay, but I didn't really want to start any socks. Oh, you know what? I could start on some socks. I normally end up getting a lot of knitting done though. My coworker mentioned that they wouldn't mind having some socks, and I was like, cool, I'll make you some as long as you're okay with me just doing whatever. And so I sent him a few skein options, and he liked one where I said I could do some color blocking. So that's, you know, a sock that I will knit, but I don't want to bring that because that's going to involve multiple colors and me making it up as I go. And that's not, I need something brainless. So I'm going to start a new pair of socks. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this sweater to knit in the car. Cedar Point is about 2.5 hours away. So I will get a lot of knitting done. And then I will just have, I think I'll make sure that I cast on the sock in the car, and that will be fine. Like that'll, heck, I don't even really need to cast on because I knit everything on 9-inch circulars except the toe. I prefer to do the heel on DPNs, but I have no issue with doing the heel on 9-inch on the same 9-inch circular, and that's fine. I typically do a German short row, so it's pretty easy to keep it all on the same needle. So I need to pick the sock yarn that I'm going to do. I'll have to have a look. Enough chatter, enough of this kind of weird angle. Oh, I guess the last thing I'll mention, I had gone to, we have one of our local grocery stores that is, I think it's family owned. It's called Lucky's. And I went because I can walk to it. They had this brand called Half Day, and it's prebiotic drinks, and it's like a prebiotic tea, sweet tea. Very interesting. There are so many drink options, like all these different like probiotic drinks, that like the probiotic sodas and stuff. And now they do probiotic tea. I think I had a sweet tea, and then I had either raspberry peach tea. Fun. It's got 5 grams of sugar. It's 35 calories. 21% or 6 grams of fiber. It tastes like tea. I find that the probiotic drinks, if you think about it, you can taste it. And it will settle in the bottom. So like that last gulp you'll taste it much stronger than the rest of them.